around here in a second and go over here. Oh, no. Go to Instagram. Should be on.
Great couples.
All right, thank you. It should show us up. Should be live. Okay. Right out here. Well, I don't know. It doesn't show it.
Have you done this on Instagram before?
Yeah, this is just the. It's taken a while for the Instagram to go on for some reason. But we're live. Facebook, yes, we are live 2 minutes in. But the Instagram is having an issue today. Okay, comments. Hi, Vicky. All right, Vicky's on. Vicky can see us. So you can see us on Facebook, right? Your picture's showing, but I can't see you. Okay, no problem, because I'm off the stage. I am on here just a moment, and there I am. There we go, right? Just a matter of pushing it back over there. So there's a glitch with Instagram tonight, Vicky. So anyway, hope you had a great day. We'll see who comes on. In terms of the couples, a lot of people are traveling and have some interruptions. So some of the singles will be on, I'm expecting. And so this will be the maiden voyage of couples. And here's a couple anyway, right? So, yeah, we're going to talk about why the protocol and how it works with couples, because there's a lot of dynamics. So if someone is just single, that's one thing. But the whole idea of having a partner, be it a married partner or a living partner, we've been together for 10 years. Oh, thank you. It's yeah, I won that lottery, no doubt about it. But the whole thing is that there's those different dynamics. And I think is kind of interesting is like, why did we start the protocol? And I started it, for my story, of course, because I had to do something. And under her encouragement, I did get my blood drawn and on a fasted state. And they should have put me in the hospital. They should have immediately transported me out to the hospital. And here comes Benita. There's our little buddy, Benita. We're so excited Benita's here. She's going to be on for a little bit, and she's got some other things she needs to be in, places she needs to be at. So, but she's going to grace us with her parents and stuff. And the other guy that's with her, Andrew. Andrew is one of the guys. Oh, he's here. Hey. Oh my goodness gracious! I was going to start talking about the guy with no hair, but now he's here. So I can't.
Why did you tease you so much? Hey, you can borrow some of mine.
Perfect. I love that. That's a great one. I've got that on film, by the way. So perfect. Andrew, it's good to see you, buddy. So
good to see you. Carol, how are you?
Good.
And Vicky says hi to the both of you. So that was one of the things we were going to talk about is with this protocol. And hey, Andrea, is that really there's a different sense here. We have a community. I mean, really, really have it. And people can say, throw the word out. It's like family. They can throw that all they want, but until you really live in one, and then you have created one, it is a unique thing, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Like whether it's on Dr. Kenny's team or whether it's just on Stuart Hughes's team, like we are changing lives in a way that allows us to be community, right? Like if we're not physically healthy, we can't be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And everybody always strives to be a part of something bigger than themselves, but you have to be right first.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have such great leadership and in the world. And oh, look, here's Claudia. There she is. And Claudia's so now we've got the Arizona, we've got the Southern Texas, we've got the Illinois. So we're covering a few inches of the universe here, aren't we? And yet we know each other. We one thing about our community, and we talk about community, is that we really mesh and talk and meet every day. We have the ability to actually banter and celebrate every day the joys and the heartaches of everything that happens inside and everything in between. Isn't that right?
That is so true. I was so grateful for the community just to rally around us last Friday when we had a friend have a heart attack. And we're so thankful that he survived. And it was just so good to know so many people were sending out their love. But not only that, they were sending out their love out to their friends, right? Like they took our experience and our heartache and was able to turn around to help other people to be it, sharing, finding bravery, finding their courage muscle and using it. And I was so blessed by all of that.
It really is. It really, and it's unique. If you live in a community or a very tight knit family, you can find that, but not always. But to have just ages, I mean, literally ages. I mean, we're the higher up, and we got Claudia down at the younger bunch. So
I'll take Jaime into my bunch, and I'll give you Andrew.
So there's 50 years difference in here between in our just right here, and so life experience and that, but we've all had some common issues with ourselves in various ways, and we all, by the grace of the Almighty, regardless of how you find and define it, we all found common ground and common dialogue and sharing health with each other and stories and this worked, that worked, how did you do? And so that's kind of really, really what this is about. We want to, the goal on this whole, really at some point in time, I want to make it into a little bit of a game show, but not tonight. And it may just be, okay, ding, ding, ding. Andrew and Benita, you got 4 points this round. Yay.
I love game shows, George. You are on. We will figure it out. Dean Grousey lives here in the Valley and has one of those big fancy studios. And so there's a part of me that's like, come on, I'm ready for this. Like, we need to step this inspiration up and have more fun.
There you go. Perfect. I love it. But it's really kind of that thing. We all found that. And we are joyful because we're feeling better. I mean, good gravy, golly, with Smalley. I mean, Claudia was dead, physically dead, in a bed. I should have been long gone, as well as many, many others. And some in our family did literally die and have to be brought back. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we have that joy. So let me ask you, Benita and Andrew, how did you guys decide to get on board? What was who was the yes,
decision maker?
Who was Mr. Skeptical? I mean, not that I'd say Mr. Skeptical, but how did that work with you guys?
Yeah, So, we were in a place where we knew we needed something, and about a week before Kenny came, one of her friends had shared this with her, and she's like, "Hey, can you take a look at it?" And I didn't really know anything that she was investigating this. And then we had the call with Dr. Kenny, and Dr. Kenny showed me the testimonies. He showed me the research, and I was like, "We're on board." And we signed up before we even got a box.
You can get it.
It just, I know the respect that Benita had for Dr. Kenny, and I saw the research and I saw the testimonies, and we were ready. We were ready as a couple to fix what was broken.
Yeah, Dr. Kenny and I were friends from a previous nutraceutical company, and we were on a team together.
Okay.
And I still remember the day he showed up, and I walked up to him and I was like, "Why aren't you at the medical conference?" Because I love all geeky science things. And we used to have a nutraceutical conference where we could go and learn about nutraceuticals. And so I would love to do that. Like it was like PhD research being presented. And so I would always go to these. And then here comes this doctor onto our team. And I'm like, "Why aren't you with us?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Come on, come geek out with us." And so we'd always been, cohort buddies, but we never
Okay.
worked together like as a team. And so just like everyone else, he reached out and was like, "You're complaining about perimenopause symptoms, but I really think you're insulin resistant. Like, you should really look into this." And I was like, "What's insulin resistance?" And he was like, "Oh, just you wait." And so immediately it was like this deep dive into give me the product, give me the business, give me the information because my life needs something and I couldn't put my finger on it. I
Okay.
couldn't talk to doctors and get the answers I needed. So I was already in that seeking mode and he walked into that, right? So it was like a win-win for us.
Perfect. All right, Claudia and Jaime. Hey, Jaime, hi, buddy. Hey, I'm glad you all got the car all cleaned, right?
Hey.
Sorry, I'm a little late. I was cleaning her truck.
He's got energy now. Oh, that's
There
why.
you go. So, you guys, how did you guys get involved? Where did you guys come in and play? Who? Yeah, what's part of your story?
So he started it. He was the one that found the protocol through Dr. Bobby Muniz. So we've been good friends with him for years. We used to be neighbors. And so he just found it through him. I think he just mentioned it to him. He sent it to him, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Is that how it happened?
He just sent it to me, and I said, "Okay, sure."
Sure. That's it.
And then I just started it, and
Okay, sure.
and I started doing it, and I didn't do it correctly, and I was gonna quit. And but the wife noticed changes in me. I was I guess working out more, cutting the grass because I never cut the grass. And the best part about it, my libido went through the roof. So that's a big. She really noticed that. So
I love it.
You're blushing.
yeah,
Love it.
I didn't know it was this doing it to me. I didn't pay attention. I was just like, I just thought I was being normal, but I guess I wasn't normal all along.
There you go. And then, we'll Claudia, once you start giggling, what happened? As he is regaining his ability to mow the lawn?
Is that what we're calling it?
You didn't just go there.
What went on in your
I don't
life?
think George even realizes what he said.
Well,
Do we have that?
George
Do we have that recorded?
George has George has the George Carlin quick mentality of words matter. So
Words matter.
Yeah. So, like, honestly, I didn't think it was working, but somebody paid attention to what I was doing.
yeah.
you know, she's not a big believer of taking meds or anything, supplements and anything like that. And I just told her, Bobby is the one that, you know, just told me to try it. And I did lose weight. I didn't know I was losing weight. I just did it, and she's the one that noticed it all. And
You know, us women, we notice everything. I'm like, hey, this guy's up to something. What's going on? Why is he cutting the grass outside? The grass didn't need to get cut. And then I'm like, I like my sleep. Like, what's going on with you? You know, those were my things. But in the meantime, I was going through my own stuff. I was going through my own health, and I was noticing things. Brain fog had gotten so bad. I was having a lot of inflammation. I was gaining weight, and let me tell you, I had a gym routine. We both did. We both were going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, and it was just not making sense for me because it's like, oh my gosh, you know, I have this routine. It's not like I'm eating so bad. I have, you know, pretty clean meals and routines in place, and it was just not literally making sense. And so I finally asked him because he had been telling me, he said, hey, just try it and this and that. And I'm like, no, I don't like tea. I don't like tea.
me either.
So, you know, at that point, I'm like, okay, let me ask. He's like, just ask Bobby what it is, because I even asked this guy, the husband, and he couldn't explain to me. He's like, I just drink it. It's so simple. I just drink it. That's it. So, you know, I asked him, I jumped in a call and learned about it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. They started, you know, describing what insulin resistance was. I'm like, inflammation, gaining weight, you feel this way, hormone imbalance, low energy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm checking off all these boxes. That's me. That's how I feel. And I had already been on medication for thyroid, because we were looking at thyroid being the, you know, culprit in this, because the symptoms mimic the thyroid as well.
Isn't that interesting, Claudia? Because I think I hear what you're saying, because I was running with a lot of women for the last, I'd say like a good decade of like autoimmune disorders, Hashimoto's, thyroid issues, like hormone issues. So it was all of these autoimmune disorders. And then as I started to get into like the mid 40s, everything all of a sudden became menopause, like perimenopause here, perimenopause there. And like I feel like there's this evolution, like you get scared into one thing, and then the next decade you get scared into the next. And I looked at all of my aunts around me, and I was like, did you guys deal with these things? And they're like, no, but all of my aunts now have like chronic heart disease, osteoporosis, and they're
Yeah.
like, what is going on? Because now I'm dealing with all of these things. And I'm like, all of them stem from insulin resistance. So
Yeah.
it's literally every decade's issues still go back to the same cornerstone.
Exactly. Yes. And you know, you describing your family is the same thing with I'm seeing with my family, like all these other chronic diseases that are developing to that stage now, because it all stemmed out, and it started quietly, because this starts years from, you know, 10, 20 years ago it starts, and you don't start noticing until later on. And for me, surviving that pulmonary embolism in 2024, stressor really pushed me deeper into it, where I started paying more attention to my body because of that specific situation that had happened to me. I had to be very careful with what I was taking and how I was feeling, right? That's why I really started paying attention to all my symptoms. And one of the biggest thing for me was that my general doctor highlighted that he noticed, he said, why are you taking thyroid medication, right? And I said, well, because of X, Y, and Z symptoms that I have. He goes like, but I'm looking at your lab work and your thyroid is within the normal range. Why are you taking, like, what is the justification behind it? And it got me thinking. I'm like, well, if it's normal, why am I taking it, right? I have
Right.
all, and that is not the cause of this. So, and that's where I'm coming to, where the root cause of it was like, okay, so we're playing here, you know, fishing in the pond to find the right one, and I'm not about to do that. One, because I had this occur to me, and I have to be very careful with what kind of medication goes into my body because of the potential, you know, but blood clots in the future.
Mhm.
And I'm for what reason? if I'm still having the symptoms and still having these other things, coming upon, it's not fixing it. So yeah, I go back to the doctor, and what happens? They raise the dosage and they extend the amount of time, and I'm like, no, that's not the answer. That's not it.
No.
And that's when I finally kind of, when I come to Jaime and he's doing this in June, and that's when I jump in June 30. That's when I just started. That was my first day, June 30. He had started 2 weeks before me.
You're not gonna come out.
And goodness gracious, my God, that those first 2 days, I could feel the difference, the energy. I was surviving on 3 cups of coffee a day,
Oh,
both of us,
Mhm.
both of us to get through the day. It's insane. And
It
I'm like,
is. Yeah.
I'm like, tea. Oh, now I love my tea. I'm like, this is.
I had a little coffee today and I started getting way too much energy and started talking way too fast. And I was like, oh my goodness, was this me on a normal basis last year?
Right? You can tell the difference. And even I see the difference with him. He's a veteran. He has, PTSD. He has had fatty liver. Fatty liver is gone. I mean, we have seen so many changes, and it's like, it's so simple to follow. I'm a mom. You're a mom. We're busy. We're parents. We're busy. We need simple. And this has been the simplest thing ever. And this, getting to the root cause. And
She forgot to tell you that I can poop now.
Well, you're talking to a nurse, so there's not a poop story that I haven't heard. So bring it.
I need my emojis so I can show.
I'm just like, that's the coolest part about it, is also that I can poop.
I
Yeah, I
do.
love
Right, right. And if you do something regular, you become regular, and then you don't need toilet paper. So now you'll be outside of the rush for toilet paper in the next pandemic.
Well, like a bidet, so a bidet's awesome.
There you
Put
go.
a bidet in.
Now we've gone all the way from southern Texas all the way to France with the bidet. Okay, so
Well, so Cheryl, talk to us, because tell us what it's been like with George and everything you went through this year. Being on that cruise with you and you walking in and saying like, oh, I really like that swimsuit, and picking it out in like the tiniest of sizes and then it fitting you so perfectly. I was like, that like, yourself, your body so well now.
Yes, I do. I guess, and I'm not, George was on it because of his diabetes. And I saw that, go down, controlled it, normal. And then I just decided I want to stay healthy. I'm a very healthy, 80, just turned 80, very healthy. But my twin sister, identical twin, was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's when she was 54. She died when she was 61. The anniversary of her 19th anniversary of her death was just yesterday. And, we were identical. Everything we did, we'd finish each other's sentences. And I couldn't understand why this happened to her. And there was no rhyme or reason. But then when we looked back, George and I looked at different things, and she had a lot of stress in her life at different times. And I think that's might have what caused it. Our lifestyles are basically the same, lived in the same area, and she was a good cook. She did not eat junk foods. Well, I mean, everybody eats junk foods. I do. But, it wasn't constant. She fixed good meals, And that's why I went on the protocol, because I want to keep my brain healthy, plus my body. I didn't go on it to lose weight, because I don't need to lose weight. I just have learned to control over the years what I eat anyway, because I was heavier at one time and I didn't like myself. And I've just learned how to control it. I don't eat like normal people, let's put it that way,
And I'm always cooking. We'll sort of.
Well, yeah, I was afraid. Oh God, I'm hooked up with him. I'm gonna really get fat.
Yeah, so like tonight we've been eating leftovers.
Oh God, yeah.
And finally we had just finished for lunch today, guys. I just finally finished ham from Thanksgiving, Christmas.
No, we're not Thanksgiving.
Okay, finished ham. I finished some ham from Christmas.
Christmas.
It's like green ham and
Yeah,
eggs.
green ham and eggs. You know that, but tonight we had leftovers. I had tiger shrimp and Argentine reds that were left over, and I made a beef stroganoff from
Steak on Sunday.
from ribeyes on Sunday. So that was part of our dinner, balance and stuff like that. But
Plus,
we
really
had to have an extra balance because
we had just over Sunday for dinner, and I thought I've never made tiramisu, but I love it. I saw this recipe and I can do that, and it was fabulous. So I had this piece about that big left, and I offered it to my daughter. And at first she said, "Oh yeah," and then and she didn't come and pick it up. So I said to her yesterday, I said, "Are you coming to get this? You want it?" And she said, because she loves it. And she said, "No, I probably wouldn't eat it." So George and I ate that tonight.
and I still have.
So you know what's so interesting is George sent me a picture of your tiramisu, and I literally was drinking a boba with my daughter in Sedona. That was a tiramisu boba, and I was like, "Okay, George, we are totally on the same wavelength." Because how many people are like, "Oh, we should have tiramisu on Sunday night"?
Well, I had guests, and it was my maiden voyage, and it turned out well.
Yeah,
good.
we went she's learned to be a little bit more contingency because I love to cook, and cooking recipes are a suggestion. I don't know about you guys, but recipes are a suggestion, right? She's a baker,
great.
and she's a baker, and that has to be, step out, that's her. That's too much discipline. Too much discipline. But she had to learn to adapt because there were no ladyfingers in 3 towns. So what are we going to use?
Okay, he brought 2 packages of cookies that have chocolate in between. I said, "I'm not using those."
So I brought pound cake.
Pound cakes.
But
So
there was no shortcakes, no shortbread. There was no angel food cake. I found pound cake. And so pound cake worked fine. So she looked at. But the one thing we got, you guys, when you're talking about the hormones and things, our 4th date was taking her to the hospital.
Well, it was pre-planned. It was for a hysterectomy. We met on
January 3rd.
January 3rd.
10 years ago.
16th of February, I was in having a hysterectomy. But it was just preventative. It wasn't cancer or anything, but yeah.
But since then, in 9 years, what's happened?
Okay, ever since I had the hysterectomy, I've had to have a pap test every 6 months. And I thought, I have this hysterectomy. Oh, great. No more of those. Well, that didn't happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
So things just weren't right. So I had to have them every 6 months, and they did a procedure once, and that really didn't help. And so when I started on the protocol, I think in March I started. And I had my first PAPs after that was in July. I got a call from the doctor, and it was clear. I'm going next week for my next one. So it's after 6 months, and hopefully.
In 90 days, she had her first normal PAP in 9 years after 90 days on the protocol. So there's so many things, and we've been talking about it for people that are watching and listening to this and watch the clips and things. We haven't hardly talked about what everyone wants to talk about, which is weight loss. We've talked about everything around it, haven't we? Just think about that. And because the real thing that, weight loss happens, but that's really large inflammation.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, George, the weight loss, I'm down about 35 pounds. And it's funny because I had to go buy some new clothes again, and I keep complaining like about having to get new clothes, and I'm already trying to build muscle. So I'm like, okay, I just need to finish getting the insulin resistance corrected, right? Get the belly back into where it needs to be. But I'm already wanting the muscle to start gaining weight. And I know that you have the story where you trimmed up, you went from an extra large to an extra small and gained weight. Like
Yeah.
that's significant.
Yeah, I'm my pants today are 29, and there's
Hey,
room.
that's what I was buying.
I was down to 28.
It was 34.
I was up into the one time I was in the 40s, so that's another day.
Yeah,
But
let's not talk about
yeah, we don't need to go back there. But yes, gaining muscle at our age is not normal. And where she doesn't need to lose an inch, her clothes are looser. She was complaining about
Well, what month? Not after this one, not after December. But I'm not gonna change clothes size. I just made up my mind that once I got to where I wanted to be, that I'm not gonna be this yo-yo,
Mm-mm.
and I know how I can control it. But I know my stomach has gotten flatter.
Mhm.
It's just, and one time I was doing 200 crunches a day, but I haven't done that for a long time.
200? Oh my God.
I haven't done that for a long time though, and I really should start.
Wow.
I don't know about that, but
now we're kind of like we did. We just had the event for the Spartan race, and people go, "How are you training? How are you training for it?" I go, "I am right now. This is
this is my training.
This is how I train. This is
His cooking is
yeah. I'm ready to go. Let's play. And
Well, we would love to stay on a little bit longer, but we do got to scoot over to Torah study. Thank you
Yeah.
for having us, George, and thank you for giving the platform to be able to communicate and share. And next time, you have got to have the couple square questions prepared.
I'll have you should have all 9 squares going, and I'll have some questions, and I'll award points.
Oh, you're going to give awards too. This will be the best. Well, it is couples month coming
and right
up.
now, I'm telling you guys, it's a dead on tie. I mean, just telling you. I mean, I don't know. There's some great stories. So you guys have a great night with that.
Thank you.
You're going to talk to these two. So Jaime, you guys got this big event coming up. How are you excited about that? Let's talk about anybody. We want to talk about and promote your event. What day is it and where is it?
It is this Saturday here in the Houston area. So we are going to be hosting it in the Houston Marriott Sugarland Hotel.
In Sugarland.
In Sugarland, Texas. Yeah. So we're very close to Houston. So Houston, Manville, Alvin area. So anybody that is around the Houston area are more than welcome to come and join us with Dr. Bobby Muniz and Dr. Candy Harless will be presenting for us and sharing so much great information. We're going to have great topics, hormones, insulin resistance, how everything is connected and related to each other. But yes, and it's going to be at 1 p.m. this Saturday. So everybody is welcome to join us.
And so it's an open event. There's no charge, no cost. It's it's information, and it is literally life changing.
It is
life changing.
And like I tell everybody, George, just the information itself, it's really good just to really understand things, because even if the whole takeaway from all the people that we've come across, all the people we've met, with the protocol, but even without the protocol, the information that we share, the stories, everything when it's compiled together is just so powerful itself when you really understand it.
You exactly. And when you had a thrombosis. Is that what you had? What happened? What was that? What was the thing? What went on with that? Tell me about that a little
So
bit.
what I ended up so I went in 2024, June 2024, I went in for a hysterectomy. So I had developed a big fibroid because I went through a lot of IVF procedures to conceive our children. So I had gone through a lot of hormones in in the last 10 years, 12
Okay.
years. So I ended up going in for a hysterectomy. It needed to get done. And I ended up having the following day a pulmonary embolism. What that is, it's blood clots in the lungs. So it is the scariest thing because it's like if somebody comes and just grabs all the air from your lungs and pulls it out. So I was suffocating. So I was rushed to the hospital. Thank God, I survived. But I was in order, for me to clear everything out, right? Because that is life threatening. Like you can die from that. They had to give me medication, but that medication messes up your whole metabolic health. My metabolic panel was like off, like completely off. My sugars, glucose, everything. And I just really had, trickled down into this roller coaster thereafter of all kinds of symptoms. But when I really think about it, George, I was already insulin resistant before that event because I go back to pictures from the past and I look at myself. I had inflammation, but because these symptoms were not really affecting me that much, I easily missed them. But when I start thinking of all the little things and go through the pictures, I'm like, God, and I was suffering from migraines, little things here and there. And once this big stressor, it just was fire to every symptom I was going through. So I had already developed insulin resistance, but this was just to it.
Now, honey, were you the caregiver?
Was I the caregiver? I think I needed a caregiver. She's my caregiver.
He's your caregiver. Got it.
You said disabled veteran. I was supposed to be taking care of
I'm like, what happened here? I'm like, she's younger than me, and now I have to take care of her. Oh my gosh. But
it's been life.
it was scary. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's all I knew because I was like that.
Now, as a couple, let's look at your morning. How is now you have the protocol. Now we have this protocol. How has your mornings changed from what it used to be? Not after the protocol.
Are you sure you want to know?
I do. Has it changed at all or now?
Well, our mornings start very early in the morning, okay? Too early before the alarms go off. But we wake up with a lot of energy and we start our day with the tea. That's the first thing, before it was coffee, now it's the tea, and we wake up with energy. One of the things I used to struggle a lot was with sleep, and once I hit the bed, man, I'm out. Like I can actually have a tea before I go to bed, and that sleep, I mean, I sleep like a baby, literally. Yep. He sleeps better too. He used to suffer a lot of night sweats, like ridiculous, and that hasn't happened maybe once. Before it was like literally 4 or 5 times a week it was going on.
We wouldn't sleep in the same sheets.
We couldn't sleep in the same sheets because he would literally, they were all wet. But his sleep has it's better, has improved a lot. Mine has too. And I wake up with a lot of energy, and I just, like I said, I start my day with the tea. We skip breakfast. My kids drink the tea and they drink the fiber.
And how old are your children? How old are your kids?
So I have a 5-year-old and I have a 12-year-old. And, they don't fast. We don't make them fast or anything. But some mornings they just wake up and they're like, we're not hungry, because the night before dinner time, which is around 6-7 p.m. here at home, we try to do a lot of what is protein, the healthy fats and fiber foods. So they're getting a really, really good dinner, rich dinner that in the morning they're not waking up hungry, and so they'll skip breakfast majority of the times, and they start with their tea too as well. My daughter just does one tea a day, and my son the same thing, one tea a day. And then by noon, between noon and 2 p.m., we really just we break our fast depending on our schedule at work. We'll break our fast at that time, and I do 2 fibers, so a fiber before every meal. I do 2 meals. Some days I'll do 1 meal, but I'll have fiber with every meal. And I start with my fiber 15 minutes before my meal, and then I just follow the food order, which before I had no clue the food order mattered, and it helps a lot. It makes a huge difference. Never ever even thought about that. I always started with my carbs, especially rice. I love rice. And that was that was the first thing I would always eat first. But now it's like I rarely eat rice because I don't crave it anymore. But when I do, it's the last thing I touch. So I just start with my fiber, proteins, healthy fats, and if I do a carb, that's the last thing I do. And I see the big difference in the energy because before, after that noon meal, I would be crashing in the afternoon. I would have that crash. My energy would just, oh my God, it would go like to zero. Then I was looking for snacking to get that energy, or a coffee because, oh my God, like I'm sleepy, I'm tired, like what happened? But
Yeah.
it all along it was insulin resistance. And I don't snack in between because I'm not hungry, I'm not craving anything. I start sipping my second tea right after lunchtime, and I got my energy, my mental clarity, that mental focus. Especially, I work in an office. I'm a school counselor, so I really, depend a lot in that mental focus and mental clarity when I'm working with students. And
Sure.
around 6 to 7 p.m., we're getting ready for dinner, and the same way, we start fiber first, and then we always start with our veggies, protein, healthy
Sure.
fats, and for dinner we try not to do any carbs for dinner. Our heaviest meal tends to be the one at noon.
Sure.
And by
Have you
then,
seen any money savings with how you're eating now, the change? Have you seen a little bit of that?
we've seen a lot, George, because we were coffee addicts, to put it that way. Every week we would buy a bag of coffee beans because we would do the beans. And that is about almost $30 at Sam's, Costco, and multiply that by 4 weeks. So that's already like $120 right there, just in coffee. We skip breakfast. We skip snacks. We don't buy snacks anymore. We would buy a huge bag of snacks every week. It's another $20. That's another $80 right there. Medication that I was taking, medication that he was taking, the constant doctor visits and co-pays. We're saving money compared to what we were wasting before.
And you
So,
feel better.
and we feel better. We feel alive. Like I feel so alive. And like you all were mentioning, I started losing weight, and I finally started building the muscle that I have been trying to build for so long, because that was one of my struggles. I would work out, but there was so much inflammation, so much, fat that I wasn't using efficiently. But
Annie,
yeah.
have you noticed any changes in your moods, in your emotions, in the swings? Have you seen any change in yourself?
Well, like I said, I didn't notice I had changes until she told me. And but I'm like, what I saw is that she was nicer to me. So that's what I found out. She was nicer to me. I mean, I think
You were the same guy. It's
Yeah.
time you realize it, how good a guy you are, right?
yeah.
I'm a nice person.
She was nicer to me. There was one time that she wanted to kill me because I made her go a long time without eating. This is way before the protocol, and I'm like, hey, you can't. I don't believe you. You can't just get hangry like this. It's like, but with this protocol, it's like, oh man, she doesn't get mad. Like with going without eating. So I noticed that from her. So, but me, like, I really don't pay attention to myself. But then I'm like, once she told me, it's like, you know what? You're right. I mean, I guess pipes are always right sometimes, but not.
Sometimes,
Always, always, yes, that is exactly correct. Always, sometimes.
Always sometimes.
Always, sometimes. So what do you guys do for hobbies? What do you guys do? What activities do you guys do? Are you outdoors people, or what do you do?
We like going to the gym. We work out. We try to work out together in the same classes.
that's our thing. It's working out and going for walks.
Yeah, because we're not into like clubbing or partying. We're not those kind of people like that like to party. I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Love my sleep.
We love to sleep, but we had an interruption with this protocol. So
Yes.
I mean, that's a change that he's noticed. So he's
Yeah.
so
There you
happy.
go. I love it. I love it. So
That-
let me ask you,
and that-
looking at doing this as a couple, looking at using the protocol as a couple. Do you find that as an advantage? Do you find that you get to spin off of each other? How do you guys like that?
We love it because, like I said, he had started first and he had struggled. But once I started and we both focus and, we started focus with the goal, okay, we got to get healthier for ourselves, especially with that happening to me last year. We really needed, hey, we really need to take care of ourselves because we got little ones. But my goodness, once we started together, it really shifted. Because we kind of push each other like, come on, we got this, right? If we can go 1 hour longer, we'll go 1 hour longer. And we're like, okay, no, that's, we just, the vibe is so different when you get connected a lot more. I feel that we're connected a lot more now that we've done it together. As a couple, after years, you kind of drift away, as in like different goals. It's just the nature, it happens. But this really has, bond us together a lot more in every single avenue, being healthy as a couple, with the family itself, with the kids, because it has become a family affair now.
Now, how does it work when you guys go out for dinner? I mean, I don't know if you go out a lot or you go to parties, the big family gatherings and stuff. How do you handle that environment, those environments?
We always carry our fiber and our teas. Always. We go around like it's so easy for us. Everywhere we go, we have it on us. It's so easy. So like whatever. At first, when we started, okay, we forgot. It's like, oh man. So then, ever since then, we're like, oh, we're on a road now. So now we just we bought a lot of it, so that way I could have it everywhere. I have it at work. I have it on my gym bag. She has it in her purse.
At
we
work.
We have it in the vehicles. We have spares.
It's so easy to carry. It's just so simple to carry. The little packets are so small. I have them in my purse, carry them everywhere. And and maybe I don't have my bottle with me, but if we're at a party, there's bottles of water. I grab one and I just put it in there, shake it, and drink it. It's really easy. And the kids too. The kids in the morning, they just get their tea ready and everything they carry with them to school. It's really simple. And that's one of the things that I've been a yo-yo dieter. I've done of all kinds of things. I've done, shakes. I've done protein shakes. I've done every kind of diet, keto, all that. And this has been the most sustainable one because I can still enjoy my foods, my traditional foods.
Sweets.
From time to time we do sweets, but the relationship that I've built with food is what I have seen the most different thing in all this. Because before I would indulge in sweets, especially if I was stressed or anything like that, it gets to you, it's addictive. And the relationship with food has changed so much. Now I'm like, no, I'm not craving it. And my body has become so sensitive to sugar that my taste buds, I have noticed a lot more now, most lately. My taste buds, like if I eat something so sweet, I right away feel it. And my body is like, no, it's too much, because now it has become sensitive.
It can about shut you down. It really can.
Yeah, so I love that, which I never ever was able to do in all the other diets that I've done before. And that's why I would always go back to my old ways and other things, you know, not knowing about insulin resistance, not knowing about food order, how that can also, you know, maximize the results that you want to have the metabolic reset.
So what would you guys say? And Jaime, you said you started, you weren't even doing it right. But I love that. I mean, I get that. But so what is your secret for what's your secret for consistency now?
Well, honestly, like, I don't know if you remember Adam and Eve. You know, like the women, they make you do things, right, that you're not supposed to do. So when I started, like, seriously, I tried to fast, but I couldn't because she was always eating, and I wanted to eat. So it's very tempting. So I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. I would sometimes mess up my fiber. I wasn't taking it right. I wasn't doing it. And like I said, I wanted to quit. Once she noticed all the benefits that it was doing to me, she joined me. It was just like a game changer. Like we just like, whew, like we both started just dropping the weight like crazy. Especially her. I'm very proud of her because she loves. Ever since I've met her, she loves to eat. Loves to
I'm
eat.
like you, George. I love, you know,
I tell you,
food,
yeah.
the
Right.
traditions.
She
I love to
the
cook
first our
myself.
first date was tacos. All right, tacos. I ate 2. She ate 6. I, yes, it is. Very true. And
And I had to Mexican Coke.
yes, she had a Mexican Coke. She
There
had.
you go.
I mean, I just couldn't handle that. You know.
He was just being good because it was the first date.
No,
That is all.
Yeah.
no, that she was being bad on the first date. Then.
I was
Yeah.
showing my colors.
There you go. Yeah, our second date was me cooking for her.
Oh, that is
Well,
so sweet.
I don't know how to cook.
He doesn't know how to cook, so. What
After our first date,
what
sorry.
did he cook for you?
I don't even remember.
Uh-oh.
It was
Something delicious.
it was seafood ravioli
Oh,
and some
dude.
shrimp scampi, and I think probably some asparagus
He
and
went
some
all
garlic toast. I mean, like I do garlic toast different than people. I mean, I actually make real anyway. So yeah, and then some. We had wine. I mean, it's just kind of the deal. But I saw she had a picture of me from that date, and I look at that and I go like El Gordo. I mean, I look like a washer dryer with a sweatshirt on.
I have seen him. 10 years we've been together. Up, down, this. I mean, all sizes.
all
Yeah,
sizes.
I've been up to 280.
280.
280 and down to 143. So I've been in there. So you talk about, that's where I say, some people talk about yo-yo dieting. I believe I created the game called Diet Whack-A-Mole.
Diet Whack-A-Mole.
Whack-A-Mole. Here comes a diet. There's a diet. There's a diet. Oh, there's another one. Okay, I got that one too. You know. So yeah, it was a yo-yos takes too long. I'm going to be on this one. I'm going to be on that one.
Yeah.
One of the first Christmas parties that he went to at my work, there's a place you could take pictures. So we had a picture taken, and I couldn't understand why he was sideways and he had his coat pulled like this.
God has, Jaime, you'll love this because God has a sense of humor, and I can prove it because I prayed to get in shape, and He made me the shape of a pear, and I just tried not to get to gourd. And
actually, that runs in his family.
yeah, there's
There's
some small, big. The full Filipino gene is small. The The English gene is the bigger gene. And so I have my mom's gene.
Yeah.
Like, so that's where that little propensity is there, but still. But if you're gonna, guys, I know you got this event. What are you most excited about the event? What are you most excited about the event on Saturday? Now that's gonna be in Sugarland at the Marriott, right? At 1:00.
Yes, that is correct. Sugarland at the Marriott at 1 p.m. Central Time. Okay, we're in Central Time here. But I'm just so excited, having Dr. Bobby and Dr. Kenny very knowledgeable in, insulin resistance, especially because I feel like many of us don't understand what that is. You hear that term, and like me, the first thing I thought was diabetes. I had never been diagnosed with diabetes nor pre-diabetic. Okay. And I would have never thought I would have ever been insulin resistant at all. And many of us don't know, it's just crazy. So I am so excited to share this free information to people to become more knowledgeable of what's going on and, connect the dots to a lot of these chronic diseases and where they're stemming from. Because there is ways to how to, reverse these naturally. And what a lot of these things is like, what do we do? Where do we start?
Yeah. And guys, when you look at their name tag down here, that is their link. And if you get a hold of Claudia and Jaime, you get to get their factory discount, their 27% factory discount for life with this protocol with a 90-day money back guarantee. And more importantly, you get these guys as your coach, as your guide. They will help you understand. They live it. Their children live it. They are the most wonderful role models for the protocol there is. They've lived it. They know how it works, how it doesn't work. They know how to survive the food noise. They know how to go into the social events and use it. They know how to be in public. They learn how to do it themselves. They actually live and walk and talk it. Use that link, use their link, and then get a hold of them. They have access to the free app that they'll get that you can track your success. They're going to help teach you and how to use it. You're going to get a link. You're going to get your own link that when people start seeing you look like and have all these improvements, like being able to mow the lawn, like Big Jaime here, and have the food noise taken away, like Claudia, people are going to say, hey, what do you got? And you're going to be able to say, hey, I've got a link, and you can get the same discount I got from Claudia and Jaime. And it's for life. So, guys, I want to tell you, use that link. Talk to Claudia and Jaime. They're down in, doesn't matter where they're at. We work with people all around the world. And you're not alone. We have a meeting, a family we started with when Benita and Andrew, we started talking about the community. We have a community that meets every day at 9 o'clock Eastern, or 9 o'clock, yeah, something like that. Anyway, we meet every morning, okay? Is it like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock for us Central Time, right?
It's 9 Central and
9 time, 9 o'clock real time, okay? And this Eastern time, who cares? So, but every day, and even on the 4th of July, I mean, what group volunteers? We had over 30 people on the 4th of July at 9 o'clock on the 4th of July got together because we love each other. We want to talk and share. Think about that. And share information, share success stories, share wonderful information. So we're constantly pouring into you. We're constantly being poured into. And what we get, we give. And we want to share with you. And it's positive. We want to help. You don't want help, that's fine. But we do know how to help. And it's available. So if you don't feel well now, when would you like to start? I mean, when would you like to start? You want to wait another month, 2 months, 3 months? You want to start? If you want to start, get a hold of Claudia and Jaime. Use their link. Or you can use mine, but use theirs. And be there with them in Sugarland on Saturday at 1 o'clock Central Time at the Marriott.
And the calls, George, the science calls. Every week we have science calls, all, different medical experts sharing from their area of expertise. I mean, that science calls have taught me so much, and they're broken down where anybody can understand it. They, I'm just amazed by all the things I've learned. The information is so valuable, so valuable. And we have them, offered to the public, open to the public every week.
Yes, absolutely. So, guys, thank you for visiting, and I'll see you next week on Thursday when we have the Feel Great Squares, and we'll
Yes,
see some of the squares.
excited.
Maybe you guys will win the game. You might. I mean, you got the most points today.
Yay! We got the most points. But thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you so much, George, for having us today.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
See you.
Good
Bye.
night. Bye.
That is not comfortable.
Oh, the chair.